Hi guys, Michael Antonio here, and I wanted to talk on this somber time here in America about the loss of a true champion of freedom, a warrior for all of us, the great Rush Limbaugh, El Rushbo. It's going to be very difficult for us to replace him. We are all going to have to become Rush. We're all going to have to carry on his legacy and do the things that he did to protect this country. And we have a long way to go, but he gave us a great start. All those many years ago when he started, it changed the landscape of politics in this country, to be sure. I mean, I'll tell my own story very quickly here. I learned of Rush Limbaugh when I was in college. He started out in, I believe it was 1988. I was in college at the time, and my mother used to listen to him on the radio all the time when she was out and about, whatever she was doing. And one day when I was home from college, I went somewhere with her, and she's listening to Rush. I didn't know who this guy was. And man, when he was talking, all the things that he was saying, it reflected not only my beliefs, but many people in this country, millions of Americans, listened to this guy and said, man, this is what I believe in. And he's saying it. And he's actually saying it more articulately. And he's enlightening us to many truths, many things that we didn't really think about or didn't understand. He was very wise. So when he said he had talent on loan from God, he wasn't kidding. God gave him the wisdom that allowed us to open our minds, our hearts, and understand what was happening in this country. And he was a fierce, tireless warrior against the left wing, these people that would beset us and take away our freedoms. So I was really happy to hear of this man, and I listened to him quite often. And like I said, he changed America. And his legacy will live on forever. But there's one thing that he left us, that actually is probably just as important. And that is, we get to see the seedy, ugly underbelly of evil. As he exits this world, we see many of the people who don't agree with us, those on the left, saying terrible things about him, judging his eternal soul, saying good riddance to that evil man, he did this, that, and the other. And you know what? That's their opinion. They're entitled to it, sure. But this underscores and it shows us the difference between conservatives and the left wing. It shows us, and I should say it this way actually, it's better to say it this way because this is the truth. The right way and the wrong way. They're doing it the wrong way. And I'll give you a perfect example. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, many of us on the right didn't agree with her politics. She did many things and, passed many decisions down that hurt our personal rights because of her left-wing views. So yes, she was an enemy in that sense. But when she passed away, I didn't wish ill will upon her. I hope that she was able to be in God's good graces. I wish good for people. I want them to, if I think they are doing something that is against the will of God, I would hope that they would change their thoughts. And again, this is the difference between conservatives and the left wing, the right and the wrong. The difference is this, that conservatives want people to change and to get into God's good graces and to do what's right. That's all. That's what we want, change. We don't agree with someone's belief system. We want them to change their system so that it makes it better for them and for others. That's what we want. We don't, by principle, we don't wish ill will upon these people. That's the way that we believe. And it's a good way to believe. You should always want what's best for people, even if it's something that they don't agree with. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that we have a difference here, and the difference is stark. It's a stark difference, guys. What they want is anyone they don't agree with, anyone that stands against them or says something to put them back in their place, which is human beings. They're no better than us. Someone like Rush was very good at that. He brought them back down to earth. He told them, look, guys, you're no better than us. Your ideas aren't better than ours. In fact, some of your ideas, I believe, are worse than ours. But Rush, as a man, and many people don't know this because they hear the lies, Rush wanted best for everyone. Rush was a good person. And again, I didn't know Rush personally, but I knew people who did know him, and he was a very good man. A very good man. So these people wish death and destruction. They did the same thing with Donald Trump. And I tell them no. I'm going to tell them, and this goes beyond politics, guys. If you're on the left wing or if you're a moderate, no matter who you are, you've got to stop this hatred. You've got to stop. If you believe in something, fight for it. Absolutely. Fight for what you believe in. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm growing weary of the hatred. When they pass from this earth, or if something bad happens to them on this earth, wishing ill upon them is not the way to go, because guess what? It comes back on you. Are you listening to what I'm saying? It comes back on you. If you wish ill will, if you condemn a man's soul to hell, it's coming back to you. It's not going to bode well for you. Yes, God is merciful, but you know what? He's not an idiot either. He's not mocked. So I'm telling you now, stop it right now. I don't care what you thought about Rush. I don't care what I thought about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't think what she did was right. She challenged our rights at every turn. She challenged the right of a baby to live on this planet. She gave women the special privilege to kill their child. But you know what? I hope she repented of that. I hope that when she stood before God, that God said, I'm glad you changed your ways, Ruth. Welcome to my kingdom. That's what I want for Ruth. That's what I want for Rush. That's what I want for every one of you. I want you all to be in God's good graces. And if you're doing something wrong, change your ways. I don't want death and destruction for you, and none of you should want that. Not one of you should want that for any man, any woman. And it sickens me, it disgusts me. You know, there's a lot of people, I have to straighten up a few things too. While we're at it, let's go back to some of these terrible, vile things they say about Rush, okay? He called Rush Limbaugh a racist, a vile racist. He was a terrible man. Look what he did. You know, all the things he said. Look, he said some things that were offensive, sure. But do you? I've heard a lot of very offensive things from Democrats. Very offensive. They've said some very offensive things to me and about me. Okay, so you know what? You're no different than Rush was. If you say something, Pete, we're human beings. We make mistakes sometimes. And believe me, some of the things that Rush said were true. So you know what? Wise up. You called him a racist. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, he was no racist. That's a fact. He loved everybody. He cared about people. That's an absolute fact. And it's making me very weary to hear some of the malarkey that you're spreading. You guys ever heard of a man by the name of Bo Snerdley? I'm just curious if you've heard of Bo Snerdley. Look him up. Bo Snerdley was Rush Limbaugh's producer for his show on the EIB network. He was one of the men that helped EIB be what it is. The excellence in broadcasting. Because that's what it was. Well, anyway, just to let you know, Bo Snerdley is a black man. He was black. And he was loved by Rush. Rush Limbaugh loved that man. And that man loved Rush. Oh, absolutely. And he still does. In fact, you should watch. There was a segment that he had on Sean Hannity that he talked about Rush. And that man loved Rush. I got to tell you, he had great love for Rush. Now, let me ask you something. If Rush Limbaugh were the racist that you call him, do you think a black man would be his producer? Do you think Rush would allow a black man to be his producer for decades? I would tend to say no. I would tend to say that Rush would never allow that if he were a racist. So let's put that in the back seat. let's get that behind us, because that's a lie. Stop believing the lies. But I'm going to ask you something else. Do you know somebody by the name of Seth MacFarlane? Now, I'm never going to accuse Seth MacFarlane of being a conservative, because he absolutely is not. He is the creator of Family Guy. Remember that show Family Guy, that little cartoon spoof? It was kind of similar to Married with Children, but it was a cartoon. You know, very similar, a little raunchy, like I said, a little bit, you know, pushing the envelope in the media. Now, Seth MacFarlane, you would think this guy's left-wing. He would never like someone like Rush Limbaugh. And you're right, at first he didn't. But you know what happened? A funny thing happened on the way to his hatred. He met Rush Limbaugh. That's right, he met him. And he grew to like Rush Limbaugh. They became fast friends. Yeah. Seth MacFarlane. So if a man like that, who doesn't value conservative ideals, can actually grow to love someone like Rush Limbaugh and be friends with him, do you think that maybe your judgment of Rush Limbaugh is off a little bit? Just a little bit? It makes me very tired to see this hatred. And a lot of these people, I know they're probably immature, they're young people, they don't understand. They've been fed the line of baloney by the left wing that every person that doesn't agree with them is evil and should be destroyed. Now look, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't agree with a lot of left-wing viewpoints. I don't. I want them to be stopped. But again, let's go back to what we, as people on the right, should believe. We want what's best for them as well. We want them to change their ways, and we want them to do what is right and be in God's will, and actually turn to God and do what is right. That's what we want for them. That's it. We shouldn't be wishing them ill will. So, I don't really want to say too much more because, again, I don't need to. I don't need to say too much more here. Just remember, stop this. You need to cut out the hatred. Just know that Rush Limbaugh was a transformative figure. He was very important to freedom in America. And we all must become Rush Limbaugh if we want this to continue, because no one man or woman, no one person is going to replace Rush Limbaugh. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. We asked Donald Trump to do that, even he won't do it because he knows better. Thanks for watching, and remember something. Don't dehumanize the people who disagree with you. Let love lead the way. You know, it's important to fight for our rights and for things that we feel need to be changed. That's great. But remember, these are human beings too. Even if they disagree with you, even if you think they are bad people, please let love lead the way and treat them like human beings that need to change, and you're there to help them change. Even if they don't feel that you are right. Even if they don't agree with you. I really want you to just have that feeling in your heart. It's very difficult. Look, I face that challenge all the time, but you have to put that in your heart. Pray. Always pray before you have any kind of a discussion or disagreement with these people, that God would help you keep that love in you, and that He would illuminate them, that He would allow them to see what you are saying and to think about it and consider the things that you say. So please, I know it's hard, but let's do that. Let's not be like they are. They're dehumanizing everything and everyone. We're not going to do that, because we are children of light. We come from God's own will. Okay? And they can do the same. They just have to make that choice. And you help them do it. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys later. I love you all.